Well, here we go then, down onto the grid for the first Aprilia Superteen race here. Some blue skies and a few clouds out. And there is Joe Thompson, number 74. Sid just caught up with him a moment ago. He's got his eyes firmly fixed on the championship and just giving his sponsors a quick plug there as well, Teesdale Motorcycles. There is number 11 though, Rory Skinner, the championship leader after we left round 1 at Brands Hatch, the young Scotsman. Very quick indeed. And there, just riding off the front row, is number 44, Ed Best, who didn't have perhaps the best time at Brands Hatch, but certainly a contender. Was very quick last year in the Nitro Newcomers. Green flag in the back and away we go. A decent start from Joe Thompson on the right of your screen, number 74. And it looks as though he's going to have the whole shot. He cuts to the inside, and that's Rory Skinner going around the outside, using all the exit of the pit lane as they turn into Redgate. The first turn here at Donington. It is the full GP circuit, so they will be using, of course, the Melbourne loop, but it's a decent start so far from Joe Thompson that Sid caught up with a moment ago. Number 74, a few wide lines there. That's number 69, David Ince, getting off to a decent start and moving up the inside down into the old hairpin. And here we come around Schwantz curve and into McLean's now. Oh, and that's number 74, and Thompson's dumped it already. He was leading the race, full of confidence when he spoke to Sid. He's up, he's walking away, but he will be frustrated. Second in the championship, and Joe Thompson's race is over before it started. He's tucked the front there going into McLean's. Not sure if he was slightly offline or whether he was just carrying too much speed into McLean's, but it's an uphill turn. There's usually plenty of grip there. Not the most obvious place to dump the machine, but the marshals are running over there. There's domestic Dave Jacks. We've got another faller, and that's another rider down here. We've got red flags. There's another rider down. I hope that rider is up and okay, but red flags are out there. That means we're going to get another restart here at Donington Park for the Aprilia Superteens as they will get themselves ready and on the grid. So there is Rory Skinner, number 11. Of course, Joe Thompson won't take part now. There's a few empty gaps on that grid. A bit of a frantic first part of that race. You have to erase it from your memory, though, folks. This is going to be a 5-lap dash, a bit like World Supersport a few months ago from Phillip Island. 5 laps to decide the race winner here in the Aprilia Superteens, and if you finish this race, you're pretty much guaranteed a point because the majority of them are missing. It is Rory Skinner that gets the whole shot this time into turn 1 ahead of Ed Best. Further back there is number 88, Jack Reed, who's a newcomer. You can tell the newcomers from the regulars because of the orange vests. But here we go down into Craner curves, and Skinner it is that has the lead, number 11. All of these bikes, of course, absolutely identical. 125cc Aprilia production machines. There's number 99 just getting through. Ooh, well, I say getting through, but it looks like he's gone on, he's gone straight on, and he's gone down. And Chris Gray has gone down, he's up, he's okay. That was a light fall, but he just outbraked himself there down into the old hairpin. Easy to do, a corner that tightens up on you, but he's up, he's lifted his bike away. Good lad. And, well, he'll have to have another go later on. It's Skinner that leads, number 11, down into the Foggy S's. In second place, number 44, Ed Best. And in third place there is Georgina Polden, number 27. What a ride that is from Georgina. She was a novice to this just last season. She had a big crash on the exit of the Melbourne Loop. We're about to approach that corner here just last year. But as an ex-motocrosser, she's hooked now to the tarmac. And she is coming on, and she's on for a podium here. She's got herself up there into third place, and the pair of them look to be just reeling in Rory Skinner. Further back we've got Tristan Finocchiaro, number 58, trying to get himself up in the action and tag along to the back of this group at the front. Also got Dan Drayton, number 34 out there, Cameron Tenzing Jenkins, or CTJ as he's known in the paddock, number 73. Leader of the newcomers so far is Shane Faber, number 24, from 10th on the grid. He's getting himself up there, and there's Miles Wasley, number 8, just moving up a place as well, down into Redgate corner. But it's Rory Skinner that leads. Rory, of course, who arrived at Donington Park for the last round of Thundersport last year and wowed us with a fantastic victory ahead of Charlie Nesbitt in his first ever race weekend on an Aprilia. So it is one of those few circuits that he knows his way around. He's got this advantage. He is championship leader as it stands. And he's got about a half a second advantage at the moment over Ed Best and Georgina Polden in second and third place as they head onto the back straight here at Donington Park. They used to, of course, be the Dunlop Bridge just about now, but that's disappeared. And Ed Best in second, number 44, just broken away a touch from Georgina Polden and sets his sights on the race leader. Good helmet design that, isn't it? The Union Jack on the side of Ed Best's helmet there. In second place, further back, that's number 5. That's Edgar Machado having a decent battle out there. George Anderson a bit further back, number 63, and also number 66, Cameron Fraser from Nottingham. And not very far for him to travel here to Donington Park. Back to the front of this race, though, it is Rory Skinner that leads from Ed Best and Georgina Polden. Ed Best from Market Harborough on the EBR Motorsport Aprilia. One of those riders that was making baby steps in terms of improvement last year, always up in the top 5 or 6. Doesn't push it too much, but he could well find himself battling for this championship by the end of the season. Georgina Polden, well, after a promising Brands Hatch, she ended the weekend in 4th place overall, but quite a few contenders ahead of her in the championship have fallen in that first part of the race. There's some big points on offer here for Georgina. Joe Thompson and Jordan Boyle AWOL from this race at the moment. They've gone absent without leave, and well, here we go. This is the battle for second place. It looks like these guys are going to fight it out for the 20 points because Skinner is very consistent out front. Further back, that is David Ince in 14th place, number 69, another rider that was an absolute novice last year, and this is second season in the Aprilia Superteens. Good fight this, though, for second and third between Ed Best, number 44, and Georgina Polden. Further back, that's Cameron Tenzing-Jenkins, number 73, just being overtaken there by number 8, Miles Wassley, as they head down into the Melbourne Loop. But back onto the start-finish straight to complete another lap. It is Rory Skinner, and he is he's lapping about a second quicker than anyone else at the moment as they go across the line. Last lap flag is out. And that lap record is so close. That corduroy, 154.95. Rory Skinner at the moment, a 154.96. So Skinner is on the money and looks good for this in terms of getting the victory. There is Cameron Tenzing-Jenkins just going through Red Gate, and then Miles Wassley. Number 24 there is Shane Faber in 7th overall, but leading the Nitro newcomers. And, well, in fact, that is Wassley just ahead of him. So it's Wassley that leads the Nitro newcomers, but Faber is on him, number 24, as they go through Craner curves. Just about flat out on an Aprilia 125 through there. They go down into the old hairpin and the somewhat diminished grid of the Aprilia 125s here. Well, the race is about to come to an end, and look at the lead that Skinner has. It would take a dramatic mistake now for there to be a different winner. Skinner is going to take a win and extend his championship lead surely here as they come down into the Foggy S's. What about second place, though? The purple wheels of Ed Best at the moment has the advantage. Number 44, there's a couple of chances left for Polden. She's got some decent drive, a decent bit of drive there out of the Foggy S's. Can she make it count? Further back, it is there. The change for the Nitro newcomer lead as number 24, Shane Faber, goes ahead of Miles Wassley and takes 7th place. Cameron Tenzing-Jenkins just ahead of them, and then Daniel Drayton. So Finocchiaro and Drayton surely going to finish 4th and 5th, but the winner of race 1 here in the Aprilia Challenge is Rory Skinner. He extends his championship lead. Second place there is Ed Best. Now, where's Georgina Polden disappeared to? She's just gone missing. I wonder whether she's gone for a last gasp move and it's gone wrong, but she has got across the line, but a mistake for sure. Just in the closing stage of that race. She will take a podium, though. A really good result that from Georgina. Tristan Finocchiaro 4th ahead of Daniel Drayton and Cameron Tenzing-Jenkins. And there are the 3 of them. Skinner, Best and Polden on the podium. And in the Nitro newcomers, it is Faber, Wassley and Jack Reed in 3rd place.
Okay, Jack Reed, 3rd place, Nitro newcomers. How did it go for you?
It was good. I got a good start, and the other 2 just got away with me. I was going to try to stick with David to pull me along, but yeah, it was a good race. And I'd like to thank Dubman, Covers, Puterline Oil, BMN Construction, my mum and my dad.
Thank you very much. Miles Wesley, second place Nitro newcomers. Do you enjoy that one?
Yeah, it was a really good race. Had a nice little battle with Shane going on as well. I'd hope for like some more racing like that for the next race. And I'd like to thank Mum and Dad, Aprilia, Donington, Funsport and Replicast.
So how did the race go for you? Did you get a good start?
No, not really. I had problems with the clutch all day today, and I managed to keep with Miles, and I managed just to get him on the last lap, so really good. I'd like to thank all my sponsors, Jordan and Faber Building Contractors, Lynx Cafe, Ash Honda, John Davis, all my other sponsors, Mum and Dad, and Dunlop, Aprilia and Funsport.
Brilliant. Well done, Shane. Thank you. Georgina Polden, fantastic to see you here on the podium. You must be chuffed to bits with that.
Yeah, really pleased with that. Luckily just got this on the last corner. The bike seemed to cut out. Managed to get it going again and just got it. So yeah, pleased with that. Yeah, I'd like to thank King Steel Centre, Puteline, Oxford Products, Steve at Weiss, Paula and Jeff, my mum and dad, Aprilia, Funsport and Dunlop.
Brilliant. Well done, George. Thank you. Ed Best, second place.
Yeah, great position for me. Great race, battling with Georgina most of the race. Rory just couldn't catch him, but maybe next race. I'd like to thank Harbour Autos and Spender's Motorcycles. Oh, and Aprilia, Thundersport and Dunlop.
Diamond, well done, thank you. Well, Mr. Skinner, that was fantastic. I suppose you did think you were actually going to win one this weekend.
Yeah, well, unfortunately Joe crashed on the first lap. A few other people, hope they're okay, but I got restarted. I just got away and just won it here. And I'd like to thank, I've forgotten, sorry. Skinner Motorcycles, Strathern Tyres, Scott's Bearings, Scott Leathers, Tokheim, Motrack Racing, and Bennett's for all their support. Also, I'd like to thank my mum, dad, Bill and Phil, and everybody else who supports me, and Thundersport for running a great meeting.
Well, thanks to Rory there. Race 2 of the Superteens coming up later. After the break, though, don't go anywhere. The Bridgestone Super Twins and Mini Twins. The second Aprilia Superteen race here at Donington Park. The final Aprilia Superteen race for Donington for now. And there's shrugged shoulders of Joe Thompson, wondering what went wrong in race 1 there as he tipped off into McLean's and turned on the first lap. Rory Skinner then, the championship leader, second on the grid, number 11. Third on the grid, Ed Best, number 44, who took third in that race, second in that race, ahead of Georgina Polden. Right then, folks, Superteenies, stay on the saddle for this one. There's still a few gaps missing here. Look at the angle that Rory Skinner, number 11, has got his bike. He is fully intending on trying to get the whole shot here ahead of Joe Thompson as they head down into turn 1. We've got someone that's stalled in the background there. Not sure who that is. I think it might be Cameron Fraser, but down into turn 1, it is going to be Rory Skinner, and all the angling of the bikes worked out very well indeed as they head down into turn 1. There's 71 Freddie Crane, a newcomer for this season, but it's Rory Skinner, the championship leader, that has the early advantage ahead of Ed Best. Joe Thompson in third place, number 74. He cannot afford another DNF here, otherwise Skinner will leave Donington with a huge lead. Number 100 there with a green backboard. That's a development machine, a Shinrai 250 of Connor Tagg. So he won't feature necessarily in the championship overall. Don't worry too much about that one. But Connor is actually an ex-Super Team, so I'm sure he's having some fun out there. At the front of this race, it is Rory Skinner, number 11, that has the advantage. Many would have probably put the money on Skinner to be the champion of this class for this season, but he certainly has some competition. Just look over his shoulder there. 3 men and a lady. It is Ed Best, number 44, number 74 Joe Thompson, 37 Jordan Boyle, and then the female of the group, 27 Georgina Polden, who picked up the first podium of the season in race 1, number 27 she's sporting, and Tristan Finocchiaro is there. Thought about a look up the inside. Daniel Drayton, number 34, also up inside the top 8. So any one of those riders really could be picking up victories for this season in the Aprilia Superteens, and Rory Skinner's early advantage looks to be gone as he goes across the line ahead of Ed Best, number 44, and Joe Thompson there in number 74, the pole sitter is trying to make a move now. Down into turn 1, Jordan Boyle, number 37, with the yellow wheels, failed to finish race 1, so it's important for him to pick up some points as well. And Georgina Polden there, number 27, just keeping an eye on what's going on ahead of her at the moment. Down through Craner Curves we go. Rory Skinner, can anyone get the better of the young Scotsman? There is Ed Best in second, and Jordan Boyle, number 37, has moved up ahead of Joe Thompson now, number 74. Thompson will be eager to get those two wheels across the line for this race, so as little contact as possible is preferable here for Thompson. He desperately needs to pick up some juicy points in this race. Just to, you know, championships can't be won in the first couple of rounds, but they can certainly be lost. And so just picking up some decent points here and getting themselves ready for Snetterton, which is the next round. And Thompson has made a good lap here. He was in 4th. He's now going to move up into 2nd place. Yes, Snetterton in Norfolk, the next round for the Thundersport GB Championship in early May. So it'll be on your screens around mid-May. Be sure to join us for that. It's Skinner that leads from Thompson. Ed Best there in the purple wheels in 3rd place. I'm delighted to say that the top 5 have all decided to go for different colour wheels this season, which makes our lives incredibly easy. Sometimes these bikes all look the same. There goes across the line number 66, Cameron Fraser, who stalled on that first lap. But it is still Skinner that has the advantage here, ahead of 74 Joe Thompson, Ed Best 44 in 3rd, Jordan Boyle in 4th. Georgina Polden has just been dropped slightly in 5th. She's just gone across the line, and she's lapping about half a second slower than these guys at the moment. Joe Thompson, what a lap that was from Thompson. I mean, the lap record before we came here this weekend was a 1:54.9 from Zach Corduroy. Joe Thompson there, 53.4. That's a second and a half quicker than Corduroy's lap record from last season. So Thompson is a man on a mission. And look at the speed of the bike on the exit there of the old hairpin. Really got some decent drive as they come through some traffic, and Joe Thompson dealing with it well. So he closes up now onto the back of Rory Skinner's machine. Skinner will have a pit board, so just tell him what's going on as we look further back at the other battles going on in this race. Dan Drayton is in 6th, Tristan Finocchiaro is in 7th. Oh, we've got someone down there, and who is that? Looks like Cameron Tenting Jenkins. He's got himself wedged under the bike there. He is okay, I think. Yeah, he's just got his leg trapped under. Cameron Tenting Jenkins, who was up in the top 10 of the championship, has gone out of this race. He was battling for 8th place. So as it stands, behind Polden, Drayton is in 6th. There is Drayton. He's just moved up ahead of Tristan Finocchiaro. Miles Wassley leads the newcomers. There's number 93. And that is Thomas Burnett, rider from Ramsey in the Isle of Man. But back to the front we go. Rory Skinner just about has the advantage over Joe Thompson. He's got his head tucked under that front screen on this Aprilia. Determined rider looking to get a victory here to make up for that fall in race 1. There's Tristan Finocchiaro with the white wheels, sporting number 58, his hero. And no surprise when you see the number on the bike, Marco Simoncelli, the late Marco Simoncelli, and that's why he sports the number 58. He is half Italian, hence the name as well. It's not exactly you know, your regular English name, Finocchiaro. So lovely lad, and he's going well so far in this race, up in the top 7. Skinner it is that has the advantage, number 11, as they tip into Coppice Corner ahead of Joe Thompson. Then there's a good gap now of around about 3 seconds back to the battle for 3rd between Ed Best and Jordan Boyle. Here comes Joe Thompson. He's going to move up the inside, surely. No, Skinner leaves it late and closes the door. It's Scotland versus England here at the front of this Aprilia Superteen race as they head down towards the Melbourne Loop. And Joe Thompson just trying to work out whereabouts he can make a move. That's if he can. It's one thing catching a rider, it's another trying to overtake. Further back, that's Dan Drayton, number 34, up ahead of 58, Tristan Finocchiaro. Both of those guys were newcomers to this class last season. But the last lap flag is out. So if Joe Thompson's going to win this, he's going to have to do it here on this final lap. There's a good 0.3 of a second to find as they go into turn 1. Most of those Aprilias using all the exit of pit lane there. just to give themselves a nice wide swooping line into Redgate Corner through Hollywood, then flat out down into Craner Curves. This is still the battle going on for 6th place. A bit further up the road of Drayton is Georgina Polden in a solid but lonely 5th place. Skinner it is that has the advantage here. Underneath Starkey's Bridge, around Schwantz Curve. Thompson has definitely closed that gap down, so maybe lining himself up for a move. These bikes are pretty much identical, and in terms of speed, I mean, you know, when you get 2 bikes out of the crate, they can't be absolutely identical, but you get my drift. There's Finocchiaro. Is he going to have a look up the inside of Drayton? No, Drayton was committed to that corner, and he regained 6th place. There is number 71, Freddie Crane, on for a solitary point at the moment, ahead of George Anderson, a newcomer, number 63, and they're getting mixed up here down the back straight. It looked like Thompson might have just had it, but on the brake, Skinner has got the advantage. He uses all the curve there on the exit. That might just slow him down a bit. Thompson might still have a stab at this, and further back, Tristan Finocchiaro goes up underneath Daniel Drayton and moves up into 6th place as they head to the last few corners. Joe Thompson can't do it into the Melbourne Loop, so his only choice now is to try and make a move up underneath Rory Skinner or around the outside into Goddard's. Who's going to win this one here? His second Aprilia Superteen race has been a lot closer than the first, but I think it's going to be Rory Skinner. It is. Skinner takes it and extends his championship lead ahead of Joe Thompson, who lifts his arm up. 20 points will do. It's Ed Best in 3rd and a frustrated Jordan Boyle in 4th, who's just missed out on the podium place there after missing out on any points at all in race 1. Georgina Polden has crossed the line in 5th, so she'll leave this round with a healthy chunk of points, and then it is Daniel Drayton in 6th place. Tristan Finocchiaro in 7th, so Drayton did get Finocchiaro back just before the line. Miles Wasley has won the Nitro Newcomers ahead of Shane Faber, but there's your top 3 overall: Skinner, Thompson and Best. And in the newcomers, Wasley, Faber and Edgar Machado. So the points then heading into Snetterton, 30 points the advantage between Skinner and Thompson. So that DNF in race run 1 really did cost Thompson. Jordan Boyle in 3rd, ahead of Georgina Polden. And the newcomers, Faber it is with the early season lead, ahead of Miles Wasley, Booth, TJ Toms, Jack Reed, Edgar Machado in 6th.
Aprilia Superteens, Nitro Newcomers, Edgar Machado. Fantastic name, fantastic position. Well done. How'd it go?
It went good. Me and Jack Reed had a very good fight to the end.
You did? And what sponsors you like to thank, apart from Keys Motorcycles?
I'd like to thank firstly my parents. They've worked hard. RI Helmets, Kimmer Production, especially Danny John Jules, Roots, Ron Aslam Race School.
Shane Faber, 2nd place. You must be pleased with that.
Yeah, it's a really good race. I had a really good battle for with Miles right to the last corner, so yeah.
And the winner, Miles Wasley. Wow, fantastic, eh?
Yeah, it was a really good race. I had a good little battle with Shane on the last corner, and it was a really good race.
3rd place, you must be chuffed.
Yeah, it's great. Last race, Joe fell off, so it wasn't quite right, but now this race, good result, happy with how I finished. Just bring on Snetterton.
So you've had a bit of a turbulent day, fell off in that last one. What happened with that?
Well, I went into it, I was running a bit too hot and lost the front. It was a pretty big crash. You might have got it on TV, but in that race, it was a really close race with Rory. I went down into sort of like 5th to 6th position at one point, but I managed to get it back up, and it was a brilliant race.
No, actually, you've totaled the camera. We can't get anything off it. But anyway, but this one, you've come to 2nd. You must be pleased with that.
Yeah, I am really pleased with it, as we got 2 wins, which is pretty good for points, but I lost them when I crashed. But I would just like to say a big thanks to all my sponsors: Teesdale Motorcycles, Thompson's Fish Restaurants. A big thanks to my dad, because when I crashed my bike, he did an amazing job fixing it.
Rory Skinner, you must be chuffed now, because I mean it's been a tough weekend for you. You haven't quite been able to get the top spot very easily.
Yeah, that was the closest race of the weekend. Me and Joe were just battling every corner. Joe, I broke the lap record penultimate lap, and then Joe pipped me next lap, so yeah.
Nice Superman neckerchief there as well. Skinner has the advantage as we head into Snetterton next. Join us again after the break for more action.